Hello everybody, it's Kelly with Kelly's Bead Boutique, and we are just getting back from the weekend, I guess, aren't we? I had such a busy weekend I hardly even felt like I had one. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed yours, and I heard that it was pretty hot in most of the states and even back east. My girlfriend called and said that it was brutally warm back there, so I hope you all survived it somehow. I'm lucky enough to be able to have air conditioning not only at work but at the store. So did I just say that? Not only at work but at the store? I meant at home. This year I told my husband if we didn't get air conditioning at the house, I was going to move in an apartment and have it installed there. So I guess he loves me and wanted to keep me there. So we had that installed a little while ago, and it's nice to be able to actually use it again instead of just looking at that really expensive piece of machinery in our backyard. Anyway, so today we're going to make something that I actually kind of got my start with. I'm slouching. I'm terrible at slouching. Maybe that looks better. Okay. I have to learn how to have better posture. Mom always told me I had bad posture. Guess I should have listened. And I have lipstick on. Can you tell? Because when I wear lipstick, I do that a lot. Just like my granddaughter. She does this a lot when she has lipstick on, but I do that a lot. Anyway, I guess you guys have already noticed that this is kind of like the Kelly Clown Hour for the most part. I like to laugh. All right, so way back in the day, when I first started making jewelry, one of the first things that I learned how to make was this really cute beaded, it's not really a beaded flower. It sounds kind of funny when I say beaded flower. It is a flower made out of semi-precious stones. So we're going to be using these teardrop stones today that have a little the hole is going this way, so not vertically, it's going across. So I made this fabulous one. It was, gosh, it must have been about this big, so it sat quite large on my neck, and it was made out of mookaite, and I chose really the prettiest pieces out of the whole strand that I could. And I don't know if you don't know what mookaite is. It runs the range from dark pinky purples to some golds and things like that. And so I made this really stunningly gorgeous necklace. And it was kind of a showstopper. And whenever I wore it, people commented on this necklace. So one of the tricks that I used to have is I would go into a store that I wanted my jewelry to be in. And I would kind of, walk in and hover around the cash desk and sort of look around the store and sort of snoop. And I had one ear open the whole time. I was always trying to figure out, well, who was the owner? And because as a store owner, you absolutely hate it when people come in and do cold calls and, hey, how do you like me? Do you want my jewelry? It was, and I knew that up front that people wouldn't want me to be popping in like that. So I would make myself be known in a different way by wearing a fabulous piece of jewelry. And almost every time I did that, and I would kind of hover around up by the desk, when I noticed that the owner was up there, or, somebody that looked like they might be important, they would almost always comment on my necklaces, and especially if I wore that mookaite piece. And so generally when somebody says, oh my gosh, that's a lovely piece of jewelry, where did you get it? That's the second thing they say. So for me, it was like an open invitation to then say, well, I made it myself, and, create a conversation about my jewelry and all that sort of stuff. So it was a really great opening sort of thing. And if you're looking at trying to get your jewelry in a store, that's one of the little hints that I like to tell people is wear your most fabulous piece of jewelry all the time, because you never know who's going to mention that they like it. But especially if you're doing a little bit of retail therapy, or you're actually on the hunt for some new venues to show your jewelry in or sell your jewelry in, make sure that you have that piece on. So this is one of the things that I wore all the time, and I've taught this class many times over the years at the store, but I thought it might be something kind of fun to show you all today. So I'm going to tip the camera down, and I'm going to show you all the parts, and we're going to use kind of a cool tool today. So let's see if I can get this down there. So, and if you pop on, make sure you say hi so I know you're here. I'm still trying to figure this all out. No, okay, is that better? There we go. I guess you guys can probably see there. Yeah, maybe there. Okay. So today we're going to be using 5 of these. They're just a mosaic, I'm not even sure what they call this. Some kind of a composite stone, but you can see it makes a really perfect flower. And then you see I have an assortment of little beads here. And what that is for my center stone. And I like to sort of pick up a color in here. And this has a bit of a gold base in it. So I brought some smoky quartz because that might look good, and I brought a couple pearls, but I never know what's going to work on the inside because it depends on how high up these drill holes are. So on these ones, I don't know if you can see that, but the drill holes are actually down about here. So we might have a little bit more room. Sometimes if they're up close, you only end up with it like, they might end up like this close, and you might not have a lot of room. Like, see, there's not much of a hole there, but maybe we'll end up with it a little bit bigger. So I usually suggest making the piece first and then sort of seeing how it goes. So that's what we're going to use. You can use any shape, any kind of materials. You can use crystal or any kind of stones. I've got some really beautiful mother of pearl that I've used, and I've also got some freshwater pearls that are in this teardrop that looks so cute. Really great for bridal jewelry, but great for anything. So you can use just about anything as long as the holes go this way. Now, the only thing that I found that doesn't work is anything like maybe a crystal with a super sharp pointy point. Like some of them have this like really peaked point. They could get kind of chipped. So I don't recommend those. I recommend something that's maybe a little flatter, not quite too pointy on the tip of it. The other thing that we're going to use today is some 24 gauge wire, and I've got this vintage bronze because I think it goes really nicely with the sort of bronzy tones in that bead. And then I have just my 4 regular tools. We're just going to use our bent chain nose and our cutters and our chain nose pliers and our round nose pliers. So those are the tools. And then the other tool that I have today is it's kind of awkward to see, but I have this wire. It's actually called the wire gizmo. I probably should have brought the package so you could see what it looked like. It comes with this little sort of, I don't know, it's like just a little metal piece like this. And then it comes with 2 different sizes of the little, winding gizmo thing of it, and part of it. And this is the largest one. And I'm using this to make the bail today. So this is great. I used to hand wrap all of my bales years ago, and they're okay. They look fine, but they take a lot of time, and this is kind of a good cheater. So I'm going to try and put this on the table so that you can see it. The other thing that I like to have is a little piece, I don't know if you can see that, a little piece of, it's drawer liner. And what I use that for is sometimes it's hard, if you pull a little too tight, it's hard to get the wire off of the little gizmo thing here. So I keep a little bit of that in case I have to tug. And I'm hoping I'm not going to have too many problems today because my shoulder from my recent surgery is really, really bad today. And I'm having a bit of a tough day with it. So we'll see what happens. So I just have this, is this called a vise? Yeah, a vise that I got from the dollar store. And I just kind of course, I think I'm going the wrong way. Am I? Let's see. Which way does this go? Okay, righty-tighty, right, honey? That's what you told me? Okay. Well, no, we seem to be going the wrong way. It must not be righty-tighty on this one. Oh, for heaven's sakes, which way makes it bigger? Did I get the bum one or something? No, that's right. Okay. Oh, live TV sort of thing, never is going to work right for you. Okay. So there we go. So it does actually have a hole in it, so if you have a desk at home, you can screw it into your desktop, but I just don't see the point because it's going to get in the way. Like you can see it's really sharp, sort of sitting here. So is that camera angle okay? I can see a few people are on. If anybody can't see it, can you let me know? Because I'm going to just kind of move it there. Maybe that's better? I don't know. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this through the top. It comes with 2 different size holes, and of course one is for the larger one and one is for the smaller one. And I'm sure there's an actual way to do this. I don't know. I just kind of take it and wrap it around the end here, and it does waste a little bit of wire, but what I'm doing that for is just to hold it. Okay, so you get that on there. Sorry, I have to move the chair, so it's going to make some noise. And so I think I have the best thing to do is maybe cut about 3 feet of wire. So I'm going to just pull, I should have done that beforehand, but I'm going to cut about 3 feet of my 24 gauge wire because otherwise my spool is going to fly all over the place. So what you do is you take this and you sort of run it between your fingers, and you're going to start winding, and you wind it close to right to this little thing here, the little brace or bracket, I guess it's called. What you don't want to do is pull really hard, because if you pull hard, then it won't come off. Like I said before, you might have a hard time. So I'm just going to use a little bit of tension with my left hand here, holding that a bit. I might have been able to get away with using the smaller one, but it's been a while since I've made this, so I can't remember if I used the small one or the large one. And I want to make sure that the inside of this can go fit over top of both of my wires. So it'll look fine even if it's a big one or a small one. It doesn't really matter. So now you can really kind of crank it and get going here. All you want to make sure is that you're actually, you can sort of see I'm pulling the wire against the bracket there a bit, and that helps guide it so that it goes on there nice and straight and smooth. You don't want your wires all kind of bunching up on top of each other. Now I kind of loosened my tension a bit there, and I got a bit of a gap, so I just push it in. I'll push that in there. There it goes. And then you don't end up with any gaps in your little coil here, because I want it to look nice and neat. And I don't need very much, but I'm going to go all the way to the end. I need enough just to make a little sort of bail thing. So there you can see I've got a nice little coil that's about, I think that's about 2 inches. So I'm just going to unscrew this, because otherwise I'll poke myself. So a whole lot easier to get off than it was to put on. Okay, now I'm going to trim this off of here just to make sure that I can get it off, and this little wire here is going to be kind of sharp, so I'm just going to get rid of that right now. So let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, look at that. So I didn't even need my little bit of shelf liner. So now I can see that one of these coils is kind of sticking up, so I'm just going to come in with my flush cutters and just trim off that little bit of an end, kind of neaten it up. And I might trim off this very first one. Just kind of trim that off a little bit. So if you're watching, say hi so I know who's there, because I can see there's some people watching, but I haven't had anybody say who they are or where you're from. If you're listening from anywhere outside the Vancouver area, make sure you tell me. I want to know where everybody's from. Okay, so I have my little coil here, okay? So now we're just going to put that away for a minute. Now I'm going to take about 4 feet of wire. So, and I have a real scientific way of measuring. This is about 14 inches. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't measure things very often. Okay, so I'm going to take my beads and place them on one end of my wire. I need a drink of something here. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I went to Starbucks and got myself a nice iced tea. Wet my whistle a little bit. Hi, Corrine from Maple Ridge. Corrine's one of our customers. Thanks for joining us today, Corrine. It's always nice to see people that I. Oh, I noticed that it disconnected for a sec, but we're back. Okay. There's people watching from all over the world. It's really quite something. I don't know how that happens, but okay, so I'm going to leave about 6 inches of wire on one side and the remaining part of my wire on the other. And I'm going to bring it around into like a little circle. And you can see here where the wires would meet, I'm going to leave about a 1/4 inch. I don't want to do this right tight next to, can you see there? I don't want to do it really tight there. I'm going to leave about a 1/4 inch gap, and I'm going to give it 1, 2 turns. So now you can see there's kind of the start of the flower. Now, can you see there? So I don't want to over twist that wire because you can actually break your wire. So all I'm going to do now is secure this wire a little bit. So any people that used to take classes from me way back in the day when I started teaching this, I taught this a completely different way. We used to hand wrap this bail with this wire, and oh my gosh, it made everybody crazy. So I found that making a bail was a little bit easier. So, and now it's much easier to make this. So you can see I'm just taking my short wire and I'm sort of winding it up just a little bit. All I want to do is secure that. So I probably didn't need as much wire as I had there, but you know, that's the way it goes. So I'm going to just trim off the short wire. So make sure you do a nice job. So you can see that? It's nice and neat against there. Like I said, I have to be able to get that over top. And now I'm looking at this, and the bigger one probably is a bit overkill. I probably could have used the smaller one, but I made it with the bigger one, so that's what we'll go with today. It might look a little bulky, but we'll see. So now I'm going to take the end of my bail and I'm going to put it over the remaining long wire. It's hard to remember how to get this all on camera. Okay, so, and now I've got it over top of that. Yeah, can you see that? And now I'm going to use my fancy mandrel here, which is a Sharpie, and I'm going to just pull this back around. So, and then I can take a look and see how big it is. And I can see that that's actually going to be way too big of a bail. I think it's going to be like too long in length. So I'm going to take it off. I don't mind that it's a thicker one, but I think it's too big. It's just a little bulky. So I'm going to trim this off, and all I do is I stick my scissors or my cutters right inside and just trim off. So I just sort of, you know, split it, and then I have to just sort of trim the end off there. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. So it just looked a little too, you know, just a little too bulky. I guess because it is the bigger one, it just really looked bulky. Okay, so I'm going to use my Sharpie again and just bring this back. Yeah, that looks better. And the Sharpie is just a great little mandrel. Pull that out there. Now what I'm going to do is take this long wire and I'm going to wrap it around that base there, just sort of 2 and a bit times. So you can see now I've got my 5 little petals. Oops, gotta go back on camera. My 5 little petals, and I've got my bail. And now the way I want to start is I want to bring my wire behind the first bead. So I kind of have to work down this way, so hopefully you can kind of get what I'm doing. So I'm bringing this wire down behind that first bead. Oops, go on camera, Kelly. That would help. Let me move this stuff here. Give you a good look here. So I'm bringing this wire, can we see now, around the first, I think it looks like the left on this camera, but I'm actually starting on the right. So I'm going to bring it around that first petal and go all the way around, and I'm keeping my tension nice and taut. Now I'm going to go down around the second one and bring it all the way around. So you can see I've got wire on the top of these 2 petals. I don't know if you can see that there. And I'm going to continue along, and I'm keeping my tension nice and tight and nice and neat. And what I do is I'm bringing it around, I'm running the wire between my fingers so it straightens it out and gets it nice and smooth. So now I've got, you can see that the wire has gone around all of the petals once, and in the back I want it to look as nice and neat as in the front, so it gets a bit of a star look in the back. Okay, so now I'm finished on that last one, so I'm going to come all the way across to that first one again, and I'm going to go around and then down to the second, and I want my wire to stack up right on the next side of the first wire. I don't want it on top or in front of it. I'm going to go around all the way around. Am I on camera here? Yeah. Okay, and now I've finished that one, so I'm going to go around to the third, and again I'm maintaining tension. Oh, is it on the right for you, Corrine? Okay, that's good to know. It's hard when I look in the camera. Everything looks backwards to me, so I never know what's going on. So thank you for letting me know that. Okay, so now I've finished 3. So if you had a small petal, I would probably stop at 3 because you don't want to cover up all your pretty semi-precious stone. But on this one, I think it might look nice to go 5. And I like to work in odd numbers. I think it looks a little bit nicer in odd. Don't know why, but I guess that's sort of, you know, how most things go. So I'm going to continue going around, and you can see you can make these suckers in no time flat. So there's my 4th go around, and then we're going to go around a 5th time, and I'm really liking how this looks with this brass. Okay, and I did not leave myself very much wire. I've got just enough to finish. So that's because I went around 5 times. So now you can see that there is sort of mostly finished flower. Can you get it? Does that show it very well there? Yeah, I think that looks pretty good there. So now on the back, you can see that my back, it looks different than the front, but it's every bit as neat. I always think that you should try and keep things as neat as possible when you're making your jewelry. So take time, don't rush something when you're making it. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see in here. I'm going to try to, I don't know, I can hardly see in this camera. So in between it's sort of like a webbing back here. So I'm going to take this wire and bring it back here, and I'm going to follow. So you can see that my next line kind of goes across here. Can you see that? Like like the lines of the wire go across there. And because I want this to be nice and neat, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring that wire through the back and pop it out the front so that I can put on my little center bead. So I want to take it and put it right through the middle of that webbing. I don't want to put it through the center, because if I put it through the center, when I pull it, it's just going to pop right out. So I'm going to sort of find a little hole there in that webbing and going along the natural line of where the wire would have gone. So, and sometimes you have to pull it across. You see, I'm like right now, I have to sort of pull it across, hold it, and then pull down, because I don't want that to show. So now you can't hardly even see where I did that. It's nice and neat. So now my wire's coming out the middle. It's coming right out the center of that. So I'm going to try and see what looks best on here. And I'm thinking I'd like to try this big pearl. So let's try that. I'm going to see if that'll work. So I think that is going to look really pretty. Look at that, how nice that's going to look. So what I do is I sort of pull it up a little bit, because if I just did it like this, you would see all that wire on the top. You see that? Like, because the wire is actually coming out from the middle. So I sort of pull it up a bit. Let's see if I can get that up again. Okay. So I pull it up a bit, and then I pull it over. So you can see now the wire's coming out the side. And then I'm going to take that wire and I'm going to go right, I look down and I go through the middle of that webbing again. I want to pop it out the back, and I hold on to this center bead so that I can get a good grip. And then when I pull it, you can see that it pulled it all the way over, so you can't see any wire on the top of this pearl. You can only see it on the sides, which is exactly what I want. So now what I do is I just find the next wire above the one that it's coming out, and what I'm doing is I'm just trying to wrap this wire. I don't know if you can see here, but I want to grab hold of those wires right there, and I'm going to have to go in here with my tools, and I want to pull that through. But now what I do is I keep my thumb there so that it's not pulling anything that I don't want it to pull, because this is a little delicate in the back. So I make sure that nothing else is, like if you pull really hard, if I was to reef up on it, it might kind of pull this whole thing away. So I'm going to bring that back around exactly where I did it before. And I want to do this, I don't know, 2 times, but I really take my time, because I've taken all that time to, construct this. I don't want to go fast. So I want to make sure that it's nice and neat. So I'll try and show you once I'm done. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, because I stitch it in pretty carefully. And all I'm doing is just trying to secure it. So I could probably get away with 2 times, but we'll see if I can get it in there a 3rd time. Sometimes I decide how many times I'm going to do it by virtue of what I can or can't do. Sometimes you go to put it in and it just won't go. And I might, oh no, I can get it through 3 times. Where's my little end? Oh, it popped right out. Okay. So what do you guys think so far? You like this? I don't know what it is about this little flower. I've always thought it was so cute. It's kind of a cute little project, and nobody ever knows what to do with these sort of brio beads. So it's kind of a nice little way to use them. So I'm actually going to use my tool there, and I'm going to really hold that down because I don't want that to come up. Okay, so now I'm going to trim that off, and I'm going to take the end of my pliers, and that little tiny end I'm just going to press down, because again, that you don't want that to be next to your skin at all. So can you see at the back there? Does that come in close at all? I don't know if you can see that, but it's just right here. I've got 3 little wraps in the back there. So now we have our completed little flower. Isn't that adorable? I just think these are the cutest little things. Now we just got in these leather, They're just adjustable leather, suede leather necklaces. So I could make a whole big fancy necklace with this, but I think what I'm going to do is just pop that in there and then just do that up. And I'm just going to move this camera back up again. There we go. There, now you can see me again. Hi. Okay, so there we go. It's just put on a little bit of suede leather there, and that little leather cording is only $2. So this is a really inexpensive little gift, something that you can make for yourself. I just can't put it on today because, like I said, my shoulder is really bad, but look at how cute that is. Great with a cute little summer dress, or, you know, if you're just wearing a nice pair of shorts and a little tank top or something like that. It's a really, really fun little project. So you can have lots of fun with this. You can really, you know, I've put real shiny things in the middle and bling it up a little bit. I've used every different kind of stone. I've used smoky quartz. Like I had these huge smoky quartz once. So it made this piece that was literally about this big. And it looked really, really fabulous. You know, you can also make them little tiny ones too. There's little tiny briots. We have some little shell ones that are really cute. So I hope that you like this project, and I hope you give it a try. It doesn't require a lot of materials, just a few beads and some of our 24 gauge wire. You want to make sure that your wire is dead soft. And then the wire gizmo, I think we sell those for like, I want to say something like $16.99. Maybe there's one in the back here. No, I forgot I'm attached to with my microphone, so I was going to try and get one so you could see it, but I think it's called a Whirly Wire Gizmo. They're probably on our website, but you can also buy them in the store. And they're a fantastic little tool, so it just made that nice little bail there. So there you go. There's the project for today. So I'm about to head off over to Vancouver Island again, and just my husband and the puppy and I are going to go over, and we're going to go to the Philbrook Festival, and I might try and go live from there, and I might walk around a little bit and show you what's over there. My girlfriend Stephanie is showing all her beautiful jewelry, and there's everything from gems and jellies to native art to like cool lawn signs and you know, like there's everything there. It is a really fabulous festival. I think, is it in Campbell River or Comox maybe? It's in that area. It's one of those three. It's just a beautiful venue under the trees, and it's really a lovely time. So we like to go there now and make it a bit of a getaway for us. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next week. It'll be a really nice, relaxing time, and my husband and I both really need the time off. We're both self-employed, so it's nice to have a little bit of time to just decompress. And so I hope that sometime over the summer you get a few days to do something that makes you really happy. So I will be back next week. So I'll go back to my regular time on Wednesday at 12:30. How come I notice that every time I say that I raise my eyebrows? Oh, Cam, are you in Comox, or you know it's in Comox? I'm just noticing that Cam's saying. I think it is in Comox, isn't it? Yeah. Wherever it is, it's beautiful. And it runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Monday because it's the long weekend. So I think it's 4 days. So if you get over there, it's great. There's also another festival going on, I believe, in Courtenay or something. One of my other people, Cam, thank you. Yes, she says it is in Comox. Okay. And there's another art festival going on in a neighboring community. I think it's in Courtenay. And a store from Qualicum, where we're actually going to be. They're going to be there this weekend, and I wish I could remember the name of it, but it's another one that's going on. So we may try and get over to that art festival, because it's really nice to go to these things. They're lovely. You just kind of walk around, and you know, we'd kind of look at different things that we don't get to see too often, and it's really nice to support other artists. So I always buy something from somebody that I like, whether it's jewelry or, you know, maybe I buy plaques for my mom's cabin, things like that. Just I think it's really important to support the arts. So with that, I will say goodbye. I hope you have a really great week. I know I'm going to. I'm so looking forward to this. And enjoy your long weekend if you're in Canada. I don't think they have one this weekend in the United States. So enjoy yours if you're in BC, because it's BC Day, isn't it? I don't even know. Some days I just think I'm so out of it, but I'm pretty sure it's BC Day. So if you're in BC, enjoy the weekend, the long weekend. And I will see you next Wednesday, and we'll have something different and good to do next Wednesday, okay? All right, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.